Don't touch that dial now. We're just getting started.
So you guys has probably seen the news. This actually came over earlier this week. Forza Horizon 5, which is probably one of the biggest racing games or arcade racer of all time, I guess. I think it actually hit around 30 million players, like eventually passing that milestone. Now, I know some people will be like, was those people that bought the game or Game Pass, which they kind of write off Game Pass is not a big deal, which it actually is a pretty good deal. I don't understand that. I see people like when Forza 5 comes out on the PlayStation, it's probably going to be one of the biggest selling games on the platform, considering nothing else really sells there. Yeah, I said that. None of your first-party games are selling very well because you guys never turn out, and especially you guys are capping for Xbox games that apparently never existed, and now that they are coming out, you guys want these games. You need these games. You need these games. It's funny. It's funny because, you know, as soon as Forza 5 got announced, and we all kind of knew this was going to happen, even like as last year sometime, back in November, I believe it was November the 14th maybe? No, it was the 13th. I'm wrong. I can't get my dates right. But Phil Spencer even said, hey, there's no red lines for what could come to the PlayStation and Nintendo. Now, the only people that's really going to freak out about it, and those people are also retarded, it's not just PlayStation fanboys or Nintendo fanboys or Xbox fanboys or PC fanboys. If you're mad that a game is going to be able to get more hands and more people get to experience these games instead of seeing these games locked to some piece of plastic, you're probably retarded and you need therapy. It's just the way it is. It's a video game. It's nothing really important. It's an optional thing, and to me, more people get to play it means more money going to those studios, which also means that more games can get built. Now, it is funny because the hypocrisy has always been is Xbox has no games, and now that there's Xbox games coming out, we had things like Sea of Thieves came out, we had Grounded, I think we have Pentiments. There's probably more. Gears of War is coming. Gears of War actually may be coming, which is pretty cool because that whole series needs a shot in the arm. I think more people get to play that game. That whole series is going to be amazing. I can't wait to just see these top franchises no longer just bound to one piece of plastic, get the shot in the arm that it needs. And maybe at that point we can see that more people like these games and we can have bigger and better studios working on them. And I know some people's like Xbox is dead because they lost their games, which I don't really think that. Some people want to go ahead and tie Xbox, which is a brand name, even though it does say box. They're saying, hey, if you lose your console, then you need to go. You need to go. Sega actually, they're doing fine. They're doing really good. They're no longer in the console race. And Microsoft actually did say they are going to continue to work on consoles, which I'm probably there for because I love video games. I don't really care about exclusives. Are they nice? Yeah, I guess. I mean, some people will be like, well, Uncharted is on the PlayStation and not the Xbox, and I really want to play Uncharted, so I'm going to buy a PlayStation. Fuck you Xbox guys and your Halo bullshit. That is gay and dumb. Go kill yourself. That's what happens. I'm not lying. This shit does happen. And sometimes more bad things than that. Over video games, by the way. I couldn't even tell you how many times, and I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent here, on X, or if you check at the YouTube comments here, on my last video, if you scroll down, you take a look at this stuff. These people are just going off, like getting all retard strong over video game stuff. They're getting legitimately serious and pissed off over the fact that somebody wants to play video games on another box, which I don't get it. The fact is, these people on the PlayStation side, as much as they hate Xbox, believe me, they're going to buy Xbox games, and I know they say 30% goes to Sony. Well, yeah, what happens to the rest of the money? it goes to Xbox. Xbox can use that money to build more games and improve Game Pass. I know you guys say Game Pass is for peasants, but I kind of think you see the value there, and there's a lot of people it does. It's not just because you're a brokey, it just means you like to save money because, some people have families, they have car payments, rent, such and such, and they want to have the ability to enjoy their hobby the cheapest way as possible. And I don't see a problem with that. I don't know about you, but I like good deals. I buy all my games though, even though I do have Game Pass Ultimate, PlayStation Premium, which you guys don't bitch about that. I don't understand because it's kind of a similar service to PlayStation Premium and Game Pass Ultimate. The only difference is day one games. That's about it. That's really about it. Both services, they offer the same basic thing. You get online play, cloud saves. You also get a vast library of video games to play. Sometimes you get brand new games on the PlayStation side. Sometimes you don't, but all the time, most of the time on Xbox, you do have some pretty good deals if you want to play games like, I don't know, Sniper Elite Resistance, which just came out. And I get it. I understand you want people to spend more money on games. But I don't really know who you are to tell people what to spend their money on. And I don't know what's going on with, these big publishers. It's not like Microsoft or Xbox is going to the publisher's house, kicking their door in and said, hey, day one on Game Pass, we're going to kill your puppy. That's not happening. I'm sure these things are happening for a reason. And if it's not lucrative in the first place, you think they would be doing this, right? It's not exactly, it doesn't have to happen. They don't have to say yes. And that's why not every single game is on Game Pass on day one. Usually it's older titles, sometimes it's newer titles. But Microsoft first party is usually day one, which I think that's a really nice benefit to have, especially if you're on the PC space. You get access to Game Pass Ultimate on there. But you would take a look at some of these comments these people are making. They get to the point where they're just like, well, Xbox, no red line, no point of owning an Xbox. Why would you buy an Xbox? And Crap Gamer does this all the time. Every time Xbox makes some kind of post on X, he immediately goes and does the same thing. Let's see if we can find that. I'm sure we can. I'm not going to even fucking try because I decided to close X. But let's try it. Let's try to find it for a second. I don't want to be an asshole, but I'm going to be an asshole for a second. I want to kind of give you a good example of what's going on here. So let's go ahead and find the Crap Gamer. I'm not going to show my X because I know I'm politically active on X, and some people don't like my politics, so I don't want to completely go all in there. But let's go ahead and go to Crap Gamer. Let's see. Alright, let's take a look. Crap Gamer. And I'll kind of give you guys a good example here. Anytime Crap Gamer, you see this guy here, right here, especially right here, like he has his thing basically talking about Xbox. Phil Spencer discusses the importance of the platform exclusives, and he does come out and say he's a hypocrite because without exclusives, what's the point of having the box? And here's the thing too, like he does do a good job when he talks about things happening on PlayStation, but he is completely biased to me anyways. Right here, there's a PlayStation February State of Play for Valentine's Week. Wonder if there's any Xbox games going to be announced. This one actually made me laugh. This is actually really funny to me. It's the best because I know people that would probably do this in real life and it had nothing to do with the console itself. But anytime there's been a Xbox post, he would go in, he would comment with something like this, just Phil Spencer being super salty for some reason. Not only that, but I've been called fat and ugly and told to get off my chair or they'll break it, which, by the way, guys, I've been on the internet for over a decade to varying degrees of success. I privated nearly every single video I have, except for my gaming stuff. If you would have seen what I was dealing with maybe a year ago, you could probably tell that I'm kind of immune to being called fat because, again, I might be a planet, but you're still a dumbass and a retard. You can change one thing. I can change being fat, but I don't think you can change your dumbass self. I don't think. I could be wrong. I don't know. But I don't see what the shock is about this stuff happening. Like, to me, as like Xbox is moving to this whole ecosystem where you can play your games everywhere. I see a really good benefit of playing, having the play anywhere thing, where I can play on my Asus ROG Ally, my Xbox, my PC, or my phone. I'm not losing my saves. I can have those experiences right at hand. I don't see a problem with that. And they do say a lot about cloud being terrible. But doesn't the PlayStation 5 have that same feature? And they also sold a device called the PlayStation Portal that does the same thing. Is it only good when Sony does it? Because I've tried cloud on PlayStation and Xbox, and the PlayStation was not that great. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's because I'm playing it on a phone or using the ROG Ally to do this. Which, by the way, if you have a ROG Ally and you want to download the PlayStation Remote app, and if you want to, that's a good alternative to the actual PlayStation Portal, which, congratulations, it is selling pretty well. There is a market for people to buy, into the cloud, because I only see it getting better and better. Right now, we are pretty much at the infancy of cloud gaming, even though it's been around for a while. But as soon as infrastructure starts getting better, broadband internet gets better, fiber, everything, wireless gets better, we're going to see a lot more people switching to the cloud. You say, well, consoles going away is a bad thing. It's not really a bad thing, to be honest with you. It's not terrible. I do like the idea of an OEM style device where I can access different launchers. The good example, if I can find it here, we'll find the Asus ROG Armory Crate. Let me see if I can find a picture of this. This is what I really love this, by the way. On the Armory, on the Asus ROG Ally, I think also like on the Legion and stuff. I've seen some people show me on X the different thing with the Legion, but if you actually take a look right here, this is a good example of the actual Armory Crate. If only my browser would work properly. I don't know what's going on. This is my favorite browser of all time, Opera GX, but it sucks. It's been sucking really terrible. I just cleared out everything. But if you take a look right here, this is the Armory Crate that I've been talking about for a while. I'm thinking this is amazing to me, that I can, start my Asus ROG Ally if I want to. I can put it on a docking station, launch Armored Crate, and I can choose between these launchers. So you have access to them. You can add some too. You can add the Amazon launcher. You can add the PlayStation Remote. You can add Epic, such and such. And it'd be kind of cool, like later on, if maybe right in here, PlayStation comes out with their own launcher where you can access all your games from PlayStation on that PC or an OEM device. I know some people's like, well, consoles do matter, and I understand that. I love console gaming. I have all the consoles except for the PlayStation 5 Pro. Like, I don't need that. Some people do want it. I don't care. If you want it, you want it, but I don't see a real reason to have one, considering the fact that they're still putting games on the PlayStation 4 that are cross-generation, and there's not really been a PlayStation 5 that's actually made me be like, oh wow, this is next gen. This is totally next gen, because there hasn't really been anything that's made me feel that way. Of course, we had things like Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice on the Xbox Series X, Indiana Jones, there's Spider-Man 2, which looks great. Not a good game. I mean, gameplay the way it is, but it's a very disappointing sequel. But I haven't really seen a game this generation that's made me be like, is this it? All this really has been just games that have been updated in their graphics. I mean, how many remasters have we seen from both sides? All sides, to be honest with you. This whole generation's just been the most disappointing generation that I've seen in gaming. Some people are saying that the PlayStation 5 Pro is the best console ever, and it's not even close. If you want to go back there, if you're a real gamer, if you haven't just started playing games, or if you just don't play games at all and just get on X and do the whole console war grift, because I don't know why the fuck you think that's great or anything, but it is what it is. But yeah, like, there has not been a real game come out that's made me be like, what's the point of this generation? We have nice hardware, but there's not really been a lot of games to really take advantage of it. And, you know, some people be like, well, the PS5 Pro can do 8K. How many people own a fucking 8K TV, and how many people actually care about 8K? There's still people who just rocking 1080p, 720p. Me, myself, my monitors, I have 144 hertz monitors with 1080p. I didn't want any 4K or 1440p stuff. I don't really care about that. I want a stable frame rate. If you want to keep it at like 1080p, I see no issue with it. I mean, the Switch is the same way. Like, I have my PS2 and my PS3 all hooked up upstairs on my TV, and I have all the mini consoles. And I don't see a problem with it. Graphics are nice, but, you know, we're spending so much fucking money on video game graphics to make them look much realer and realer and realer instead of actually giving them style, to the point where every fucking game looks the same. People talk about PlayStation DNA. The Last of Us is the best and worst thing that's ever happened to PlayStation. I love the first Last of Us game, and I despise the second game, even though mechanically it's probably one of the best third-person action games ever made. And I would die on it. He'll just say that it is one of them. It has really good combat and everything, but at the end of the day, it all feels the same. How do you make God of War boring? I played through the first God of War 2018. I really liked it. I'm not hating these games, by the way, but they're not. It doesn't feel like God of War anymore. It just feels like The Last of Us with a God of War skin. And it just kind of bugs me a little bit because it's the same thing. Even Uncharted at this point is the same way. It's just exposition, a little bit of action, exposition, going in dry on Abby, exposition, walking, talking, in the games, in these fucking games. I don't understand this. Why do you have to keep talking the whole fucking time? You ever play a PlayStation game, or actually any game lately, modern game recently, where the characters just talk, and you'll get into an action sequence, and Spider-Man 2 does this. You'll be swinging in the air, and say you're talking to Mary Jane or the deaf girl, doing sign language over the smartphone. It stops. People are like, hey, wait a minute, I'm on a phone here. I'm in an action scene. And they basically break the fourth wall. It's like, I'm in an action scene right now. I need to do this. And as soon as the action scene is, they get back on the phone and say, hey, well, where did we leave off? Oh, yeah, the sandwich. I dropped my sandwich in the subway, and the rat and the Scorpion King got a hold of that and ate it. And it was bad. The whole world ended because they ate my pastrami sandwich in the sewer that I dropped. Mary Jane Chin. It's just wild to me. Like, the PlayStation guys, it seems like the only thing they actually care about is graphics. And I think anymore, that's just like a detriment. Like, it just makes things a little bit worse, because there's not a lot going on. It's just games are becoming movies. Sometimes it's good to have that, but that's basically the PlayStation DNA anymore. And there's a lot of studios that's following suit with that because it is profitable. People do like that. It is quality, but I just want to have fun sometimes. Like, I watched, what was it? Jada? It wasn't Jada. J something. JTV? I don't know. He posted himself playing Doom. Doom 2016. And I've never in my life seen anybody play Doom in that style. Like, it's basically saying, if you watch it, it's like, who plays third-person action movie games without saying that? And that's what it was. It's exactly what it was. You're playing like a tactical shooter, and then they were saying that the game looks boring, it's going to be repetitive, and you're like, dude, it's fucking Doom. Do you not know what Doom is? Have you not played Doom? Like, Doom is probably one of the most important video games in the last, I don't know, forever. Like, how many places has Doom been ported? People are putting Doom on pregnancy tests. If that says anything, you don't see anybody putting Uncharted or Halo or Mario Kart on a fucking pregnancy test. You just can't. You just don't see it because Doom is just ingrained into gaming like probably no other game except maybe Mario and Tetris. which is wild to me. It's wild to me. I don't understand. Like, these people say Xbox sucks, but yet they're still capping for Xbox games to come on PlayStation. And I find that really hypocritical. I don't know about you. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, once these games come out on PlayStation, you're going to see, like, these studios making tons of money. Xbox is going to be raking it in. And like I said, you might say Xbox is dead. If you're talking about console-wise, I can see where you're coming from. But if you're somebody that understands that, you know, playing video games everywhere is more beneficial than just owning a single box that's tied to a brand, you don't see the point of sucking the dick of a giant corporation for free because you want the other corporation to die. And I also don't think these people understand how capitalism works. They say they want PlayStation to destroy Xbox and Nintendo, and having PlayStation to be the only place to play games. And I'm thinking, I was like, why would you think that? Why would you want that? That's called a monopoly. PlayStation, I think it was PlayStation and Take-Two, at the start of the generation, they decided to bring the games up to $70. And after that, they seen people were still paying $70 for games. Everybody else followed suit. Even some of the Nintendo games done that. I think it was The Legend of Zelda, the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom sequel. They did the same thing. If PlayStation was the only console, you're going to see, you think $800 for a PlayStation's wild. Wait until you see what happens if they're the only ones. And I've seen PlayStation, like, being arrogant back during the PlayStation 3 announcement. I don't know if you guys remember, but I think it was $600 for, I think it was the 20 gig maybe, or the 60 gig. It had backwards compatibility. And one of the things they were saying was like, we want, it's almost as bad as the thing that EA said about Star Wars loot boxes, but they were saying, you know, we want this to feel like a premium system. We want you to work for this. And like, people are wanting to play video games to escape. Why would you say that? You're talking down to your audience and be like, you poories, is that what they say, brokies now? These Andrew Tate guys. And here's another thing too, it really bugs me, is like, these people will be like, oh, you're a peasant for playing Game Pass, and I'm paying $70 for this game, but you've been able to play for 4 years. Ha! You fucking brokey. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to continue playing this game for a subscription price, or, you know, get a discount on it. Because there's some people, like, there's this thing where people say the Xbox guys don't buy their games. Like, I beg to differ. Like, pretty much every game I get on Xbox, I buy. Anything on PlayStation, I buy. Like, I'll test out, like, the premium stuff. Like, there's something I never heard of, like an old game. I'll try it out and do this. Like, I finished Ninja Gaiden Black 2 just today. Because, you know, I've already played Ninja Gaiden 2 a couple times already, and I'll probably still buy this game. Most likely I'll still buy it later on, but, you know, I just finished it, and so I don't really want to spend $50 on it again, but I may later on. But by the way, it's fucking awesome, and it makes me miss, like, the old days of, like, Devil May Cry and stuff, instead of all we get now is Demon Souls. I miss gaming. But I don't see a problem with people wanting to save money to enjoy something they really love. And it really pisses me off. Like, these whole people trying to gatekeep by pretty much just sucking corporate dick and saying they want something dead. It's like, you're not a gamer at this point. You're not a gamer. This is almost same as the anti-woke people. Like, I'm getting tired of that too. Yeah, I don't like wokeness in gaming. Like, I don't really care for it at all. But everything's woke now. And, you know, I'm just tired of it. Like, I'm just tired of hearing it. And the PlayStation fanboys, they happen to be the worst ones when it comes to pissing me off about video games. Like, I don't want these people to hijack video games because, you know, they have some kind of allegiance. I think, why can't you not just like video games? Why can't you just not do that? You can call out things. If PlayStation or Xbox or some woke fucking studio decides to put some kind of bullshit out, then call it out, man. Call it out. But I'm just getting tired of all the negativity. It's fucking crazy to me. And the fact that games are coming on PlayStation, it's not going to be long before you start seeing PlayStation games in other platforms. If you think they're going to stop at PC and putting one of their IPs on the Switch, have another... You're probably going to be disappointed. Let's give it a few years. If they take a look at Microsoft and what they're doing, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that runs these businesses that can somewhat agree to this. Even Sean Layden said this. If they see this happening and it's making a lot of money, you think PlayStation is going to want their games on as many platforms as possible? The only people that's not going to do that is Nintendo, because Nintendo does not compete with the other consoles, which, you know, it is what it is. Nintendo doesn't make games. They make Nintendo games. That's totally different. Totally different. That's how I'm going to say it. You're going to be like, you're retarded, and I'm going to be like, fuck you, that's fine. But yeah. Anyways, I'm going to stop talking and chatting, chit-chatting anyways. I'm going to pose this question for you. Why is it important to you for Xbox to go away? What do you think is going to happen? Also, why do you hate Xbox so much? Why do you hate other platforms, and why do you hate the PC format? Why do you hate this stuff? What benefits is PlayStation giving you outside of what's going on now? And here's another thing to think about too. I keep on saying the whole industry's on fire, and you guys say you're an Xbox. Tell me, how does being a multi-platform player and wanting people to play video games and hating what's happening in the video game industry a Xbox? Is it the fact that I own an Xbox, or are you just fucking stupid and you have nothing else to say? That's what it seems to me. It seems to me that's what it is. I just think you guys are retarded for thinking that stuff. So to me, just play games. Stop the tribalism bullshit and just play games. That's all I'm saying. It's easy. You don't even have to think about it. Just hop on your PlayStation, hop on your Xbox, your Commodore 64, and play video games. I think it'll make you feel good. And yes, I am fat. So if you're on there and be like, "Oh, you're this fat guy," yes, I am fat. I got big old flabby arms, big old flabby face. You want to talk about some other stuff? You want, keep on throwing it. It's funny to me. So, anyways, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you soon.